It's been over 6 years since we first got our hands on Overwatch, and over that time the game's been through dozens of different metas, forcing the game to shift balance and game style. I first played right at the start of the Overwatch Early Access beta, however, as you can see here, Season 1, Season 3, Season 4, Season 5, Season 34, I haven't really been too consistent. Nevertheless, I'm back, I'm hard stuck, and I'm excited for Overwatch 2, so let's get into it. Firstly, the fundamental aspects are being completely shaken on their head. Each team has some budget cuts and loses a player, making it a 5v5 experience. There's also a focus on reducing the amount of shields and crowd control. Orisa loses a barrier, Coleslaw loses his stun, and May can no longer freeze enemies. The game has come a long way. Do you remember when Bastion used to have his own personal shield? On top of the hero-specific changes, all DPS heroes have 10% more movement speed, tanks are harder to knock back while also generating less ultimate charge when hit, and supports have built-in self-healing mechanics. This adds more unique advantages for each role, and will hopefully make each hero more balanced alongside the others in that role. Overwatch 2 brings us new maps, new heroes, updated maps, reworked heroes, and a brand new game mode, with PvE coming in 2023. There have also been promises of consistent content updates with a laid out plan for the first couple of seasons. This is something that the players that have been playing over the past few years were likely to be really glad to hear, as from what I gather, there have been a few content droughts for the game. And lastly, the game will have free to play PvP, no more loot boxes, and a battle pass, which is good or bad? I don't really know, I've never played Fortnite. Anyway, this is surely to shake things up a bit and will likely encourage a bunch of new players to try it out. So these are the main things being added and changed, but the million-dollar question is, will it actually fix the issues that the current game is suffering from? Ever since I first started playing, there's been a big focus on playing along with the meta, which is constantly changing. The amount of times I've locked in a hero and my teammates immediately scream me to switch just makes playing some matches more of a chore than anything else. This is something that I really hope the role changes fix. The queue times in Overwatch are honestly laughable. I'm a main tank player, and that is half because I enjoy the role and half because it's the shortest queue time. But on those occasions that I want to play DPS in quick play or ranked, I'm queuing up for sometimes over 10 minutes for a 5-minute match. And by the time I get into a game, I'm no longer warmed up and ready to play, because the skirmish mode is either full of people showing off their emotes, or it's just fucking roadhog spawn camping. I can't say for sure if this will be fixed in Overwatch 2, but the free-to-play feature may lead to a higher player base. And the new heroes being added for tank and support means that it's more fun to play them, and more people might want to queue for those roles instead. Both of these could help reduce queue times. There are also some maps that are just flat out unfun to play sometimes. The second point on Anubis is a nightmare. Some maps have had to be removed from comp, and every time I log into Blizzard World, about half the players just leave. I know that some maps are being reworked and some removed for these very reasons, so I have decently high hopes that these issues will be resolved in Overwatch 2, as they will likely take into account what people do and don't like. In Overwatch 2, I'd love to see a load of new heroes for support and tank. This is something that we already know will be happening, all hail Junker Queen, but realistically it should be a focus for the first few seasons at least. This could help balance queue times while also giving supports and tanks more diverse characters to play as. It would also be really cool for stricter punishments for the no-life players that type slurs and threats in chat. Toxicity has always been a big issue in Overwatch, and it feels like Blizzard just doesn't do enough. Making the game a nicer, happier place would make the experience so much better in general. All in all, Overwatch 1 has a bunch of problems in my opinion. The game's fun, but there are a ton of things that could be changed or implemented in Overwatch 2 to give it that spark that the first game had in 2016. All of the new features look really cool, and honestly, I just hope that it sticks the landing.